guns. What is it about a gun that just drives some people just, almost an erotic state? There is, you think, and they say, well, a gun isn't the only thing that can kill people. But a gun, if you think about a gun, the gun's only purpose is destruction. There's no other purpose to having a gun. They say, well, you can kill somebody with a hammer. A hammer has other purposes. A car has other purposes.
That's clear.
The purpose is not to destroy something.
Right.
There's no other reason for a gun to exist except for destruction. So where is it that elements of humanity have this urge that's so strong that they don't want anybody to threaten their right to have these things and to use these things? Not to use them constructively, but to have them to use destructively.
Because the beast is in everybody. Atavistic. There's this primal impulse. I mean, I think it's in our anthropological heritage. We come from a very dark and and this isn't just a fantasy. We come from a dark, primal environment that was tough and harsh and frightening. And it's somewhere deep in your DNA, this fight or flight, this, kill or be killed, and it's a part of what we are.
I disagree.
Okay.
What do you think, Lori?
I think if it came down to it, if it actually came down to it, I would probably be decimated by whoever was stronger than me, because I wouldn't have.
Let's look at this for a minute. How do you define strength?
Strength. There's a lot of different definitions of strength.
There are.
There's physical strength.
Yeah.
There's moral strength.
Yeah.
There's intelligent strength.
Mm-hmm.
So
you said you would be decimated by someone who was stronger than you, but you're using a specific definition of strength, which is limiting, because I know that in your mind you think of yourself as strong. And
all
so
right, let's say somebody who is strong in a negative sense,
overpowering,
physical violence,
and the willingness to hurt someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's weakness, though.
I can sit there and say, I really hate somebody. I really would love to see something horrible happen to somebody.
Right.
But when it came down to me actually doing something to hurt somebody, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. And defending myself from somebody who was going to try to hurt me, I mean, I have dreams about these things.
Mm-hmm.
And in my dreams, I have like marshmallow punches. It's like my punches just like powerless.
Like Kenny Vaughn punches.
And that's when you wake up. Yeah. And that's when you wake up and you say,
Speaking of which, if you've seen this boy, please contact me. We need to find this young gentleman. He's missing.
Now I know why my milk carton's leaking.
Yeah, because... Ooh, where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
On that note, can I answer the question that you asked before about
fucking time
about why Richard?
He unbelievably has this Think Twice radio show here, radio thing going on here, not a radio show, radio shows at the Home of the Future, and he'll do an S&M show about kinky S&M stuff. He allows that, but not. I draw the line in astrology. I can't have an astrology show in my house. They asked me one time to do an astrology show. I said no, I can't have that kind of crap. Is that true,
When's
Richard?
your birthday, Richard? When's your birthday?
I can defend that position.
I'm doing
why don't you defend it? And Russell Link, your good buddy, Richard, every single fucking person he meets, he says, what's your birthday? What's your sign? I go, it doesn't matter. He goes, oh, no, it matters. You still let him in the house. Why do you let him get away with that crap?
But he doesn't do a show on
No,
that.
no.
He doesn't do
I hope he never brings it up on his music show while you were listening to some beautiful... beautiful musical of Kiss Me Kate, and I want to tell you, the person who wrote Kiss Me Kate was born October 10th, so you got to watch out for them because they're blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. Try to defend that, Richard. Or do you want to have Sanford say his piece first about your thing?
I'd rather have Sanford say his piece first.
My theory, and I think I know Richard.
I hope it matches what he said.
Well, we're
going to see what we got. If you two have a love connection here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think Richard, as far as anyone with a sexual peccadillo or whatever it might be.
Yeah, right.
Richard wants to explore honestly and openly with phenomena, with things that are going on that people do and give their side of the story. But however, when people want to inflict, maybe he would use that word, I don't know, things that are irrational, or purvey maybe is a better word, things that are completely irrational. Richard doesn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, but some people say S&M is irrational. Have you ever heard that before?
But it's a community.
It's a family of S&M people, family of S&Mers. Come on, you know.
But it's a community.
We're all S&Mers.
I think
we all have that dark side.
Because it's a community, Richard wants to give it voice.
Yeah, what about this, Richard? Do you actually, would you let a paranormal show go on the air? That's irrational.
I'd have to give that some thought.
And number two, do you let religious shows, devout religious shows go on the air? Like I'm a devout Christian, I want to talk about Jesus for an hour. Do you let that go on the air? That's irrational.
What about those country western girls?
Hold on, you
get
definitely
pretty
think that
religious.
Jesus is definitely irrational
It's the
nonsense,
same
right?
thing.
People believing in Jesus as God, right?
Well, I'm not into the irrational part as much. You know, like Sanford portrayed that it was that was what bothered me.
Yeah,
so
I may be wrong.
So he was wrong. No love connection.
I'm against ideologies that try to have power over people. And that's what astrology is.
But I mean, religion does try to have power.
Yeah,
over
you
people.
see, and that's why
So you
I
wouldn't
have
have
problems.
have you ever had an hour?
Although
full-on
for example, there are types of
Jehovah's
religion
Witness show?
that don't try to have power.
But
over
Jehovah's
people.
Witnesses do, for instance, right? They try to have power. They come to people's house and they bang the door and tell you Jesus is God.
Well, it depends upon the person, though,
The
Greg.
Mormons. I know, but what I'm saying is, would you let an hour-long religious, come join us, or you're wrong if you don't join us kind of show? If you don't let astrology go, would you let a religious show like that go?
Well, it depends. It depends if they follow an underlying principle that I think is indispensable. I could be wrong.
But they don't do that. The Jehovah's Witnesses don't do that. They say we are right.
That means that they
So yeah,
are
that's what I'm
trying
saying.
to have power.
The devout religious people, they did an hour show here. We saying we are right. You should join our way. We are right. We are not wrong. And they say, is there a chance God doesn't exist? They say no. It's 100% sure that He exists and we know about. So you got to. So if anyone can do a religious show, unless they're the most amazing religious group ever, and they say we could be wrong about this. They almost always don't. If you know your history of life and religion, you'd have to say no to them too. And isn't astrology way more benign than religion and S&M?
No, because astrology is a perfect example of I'm going to define you, Greg,
Right.
and I'm going to tell you what your personality is. I have the power to do that because I know
astrology.
about your date of birth.
And did you ever tell Russell Link it's a bunch of bullshit and shut up? Because he mentions it constantly.
I told him that it's got this whole fascist tendency of trying to have power over people and define
It's
who
true,
they are.
because every single person he meets, it's like, he's got to know when your birth date is, and then he starts saying, oh, now I see. This is why you are, because you were born September 12th. He totally wants to define everybody. He wants to put them in a little box. Yet the guy's a homosexual. He doesn't want society to put him in a little box because he's homosexual. He wants people to think you're a person, not a homosexual. You're a person. That's stupid to define someone by their sexuality, right? But he would hate that. But yes, define you by your date of birth. What a bunch of bullshit. I always tell him that, though. This is not off. It's not behind his back. I tell him it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're trying to put people in a box. And you agree with that, Richard, right? He's trying to put people in a box.
There could be astrology people out there
That
who
say maybe we
only
can be
talk
wrong.
about themselves.
And they say maybe we can be wrong. But they don't.
I'm just going to define myself.
But Russell doesn't do that. He
They
doesn't
have
say,
that
I have.
temptation. They got to tell everybody else about who they are.
Yeah, and also, they got to say, right, okay. Joel, when were you born? What's your birthday?
When was my birthday?
Yeah, what date is it?
February 7th.
Oh, I understand you now. What sign is that? Pisces? Oh, it's obvious you're a Pisces. I always knew you were a Pisces. My brother, the psychotic one's a Pisces, so, no offense, but I mean, you're a Pisces. It makes sense now. I used to go out with a woman. Get this, she was a Pisces. That's right, 30 years ago. And I never got over it because I did not, the Aries, I'm Aries, did not, it clashed with the Pisces, did not work. There was no love connection. So we broke up.
So can we talk a little bit about this dark aspect? And because family drives us to dark aspect, but
Which family? The worldwide family or the
family I choose that I'm looking at right now.
Oh, the four of us?
We're driving you towards
We're driving you towards the dark side.
No, not you three, just Greg.
Oh, just me. So I'm driving you toward the dark side. That's great.
I see it now.
Well, what do you expect someone born in February?
What was
Jesus.
Yeah, you were born in April, weren't you?
Yeah,
but
no, I'm saying for him.
Because when we come to home in the future, it's about a creative place, and I think being creative.
Sometimes it's stifled, though. You come here and you want to talk about astrology and be creative with your astrology program, and some tyrant, some fascist says, I will not allow that in my house. Get out of my house. You can stay in my house, but not do a show about... Wait a minute. Now it makes me think. So you know how Russell loves astrology? Richard, can he bring his astrology friends over and can he talk near your office for like 2 or 3 hours about astrology as long as they're not recording it?
Yeah, and I will challenge their ideas.
So why don't you just... So if you had the free time... would you allow someone to do an hour astrology show where you're on the program and questioning their ideas?
Definitely.
As long as you say, okay, I'll let you do it every month, but I got to be on the show saying that's a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
That's good. That's fair.
Sure.
That's fair, right, Joel?
Sure.
Don't you think?
I do think it's fair.
And what about the stuff that Joel espouses, all this Buddhism stuff? What about that, Richard?
Well, he just mentioned...
Would you allow that on the show?
He just mentioned the dark side.
All right. Don't answer my question,
now,
of course.
Well, I want to address his thing, and I'll come to yours.
Okay. This keeps happening to me over and over. It's like...
Because he said his first.
Yeah, right, of course. First comes, first served.
Okay. So, it was either yesterday or the day before. This was on the news. A woman got gang raped in India.
Oh, God.
The parents went to the police.
Oh, God.
And the police did zero to try to find the people who did it.
Why?
Well, they probably felt like we don't have anything to go on.
Oh, no clues.
They were totally unmotivated. That's the point.
Yeah.
So the parents,
they're busy probably.
They got together their own little vigilante thing.
Yeah.
And they tracked down the people who did the rape.
Oh, that's nice.
All right. And apprehended them.
Castration?
And brought them to the police station.
Oh.
And now all the papers in India are writing up about this event.
Of course.
Where the people took it into their own hands.
Yeah, vigilantes.
Okay. So, what made the people do the raping?
Dark side.
Yeah. Now, where does...
like when you're staring at someone across the table who brings the dark side out in you, you know?
In other
then you
words,
rape them.
In other words, what is it in the culture of India that enables men to...
Well, it's not
do
the
that?
culture of India because there's men raping women all over the globe, raping all their family members all over the globe. It has nothing to do with...
Statistically, I think it's higher.
Culture. But I mean, it's not only Indian culture. There's rape
not at all,
all over the globe.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not Indian culture. It's people.
But
why do human beings rape? Well, first of all, it's violence. Men love violence. When it's a man against woman rape, the classic rape, that's violence, which is horrible. And then of course they love sex and violence mixed together, which I'm sure in some disturbed male rapists, it's sex and violence mixed together.
Power.
And there's power because men love power. So that's why Harvey Weinstein raped, because sex, violence, power all mixed together, and he loves all three.
And Bill Cosby.
And he doesn't love Bill Cosby. I doubt he loves Bill Cosby.
No, I mean Bill Cosby. You know what I mean?
I know. I was doing a Lori on you. That's what you would have said.
I know. It's very good, Greg.
Thank you.
Well,
You're learning.
See, now this brings us back to Sanford's point. All right?
I don't want to talk about Sanford's point.
Why not?
It's a family show.
You made some good points there tonight.
Did Harvey Weinstein do what he did? Did the people in India do what they did?
Yeah.
Because it was their fault. In other words, it was inside them, or was it the ideas that they were taught from the culture?
It's partly the fact that you grew up as a male being violent, sexual, and a lot of men like power also, the third one. And therefore, along with society saying, a lot of society around the world, the men being in power, the men wanted to fuck to procreate, the men wanted to be violent because they have the violent tendencies like war and raping and assault and violence and bar fights and sports. So that's what it leads to. So it's a combination of that it's their fault plus society brings it up. If it was like a nice peaceful society, peaceful world, then there wouldn't be as much violence from people. But it's a violent world in society plus the natural inclination.
I wanted to have a platform to bring this up, so this is perfect. What Richard just said. I know you don't wear platform shoes. I do.
No. That's true.
I've been watching. I have Amazon Prime. And you can get a lot of old television shows from the 60s and that you can watch series.
Yeah, of course.
And I've been watching these. And it's amazing. And I'm thinking these are the same kind of shows that I saw. I'm the same age as Harvey Weinstein. I'm the same age as Richard.
Right.
These are the shows that I was watching when I was younger.
Yeah.
And these are the same shows that Harvey was watching, and the same shows that Donald Trump was watching.
That's true.
Shows like innocent type shows, okay?
Right. Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island.
Hogan's Heroes.
No.
I Spy.
My Living Doll.
My Living Doll.
My Living Doll.
Never heard of it.
I know. Bob Cummings.
His Living Doll. So Living Doll is his wife?
No, Living Doll was a robot.
Oh, it's
okay?
an actual doll.
But
right.
but the concept of the show was that he was a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and one of his purposes was to show that women could be controlled to do what men want them to do.
Well, Stepford Wives?
Very similar idea. But if you look at the themes of all these shows in the mid-'60s, they were so misogynist. They were so chauvinistic. So
I Dream of
chauvinistic.
Jeannie is.
Yes, I Dream
Bewitched
of Jeannie.
is.
More shows like that.
Yeah.
That men are in control, women are subjugated.
Well,
So if you have a situation, if you have a culture where somebody like Harvey Weinstein gets the idea that, okay, I want to have sex, obviously, the media is telling me this is my purpose in life. Men are stronger than women. Men are dominant. Men can take what they want.
yeah.
So you get a
What's
guy
your
like
point?
Harvey Weinstein who starts, abusing people like your wife.
He only did it for
and
40 some years,
and
though.
thinking that it's okay. Donald Trump thinking it's okay. You can grab their pussy when you're a celebrity. You can do whatever you want.
Well,
they
you
let
gotta put some blame on
The individual.
But there's this cultural thing, Greg. This
There is a
cultural
cultural
thing
thing.
where we're getting away from that now. And especially now, where people are saying,
But now
you can't do that. You're not supposed to
It's
do that.
about time.
And it's no longer allowed.
But do you
you're
think-
gonna get in trouble.
Do you think
Yeah.
people are better, or do you think just
No.
the mores have changed? Because I
mores
think
are
the
starting to
mores
change
have
a little
changed.
bit.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
no,
I don't
people
think,
are not better.
I think no.
The guys that don't do it will be
No.
saying, "Well, I don't want to have anyone go on media or social media and tell people that I'm a sexual harasser because now it's out of vogue and I'll get in trouble." And if I did in the past, I hope they don't squeal on me now because even now they got people talking about Dustin Hoffman.
Right, more and more
They got
coming out,
Kevin
and
Spacey
Kevin
and Dustin
Spacey,
Hoffman.
yeah.
They both won 2 Academy Awards. They're both famous actors, big time actors. And they never would have been busted for or accused of sexual harassment and inappropriate behavior unless the Harvey Weinstein thing happened. As soon as Harvey Weinstein, as soon as the Harvey Weinstein thing, which everyone knew, like they knew about Rock Hudson being gay in Hollywood, they knew that he was gay. Then they all knew Harvey Weinstein was an abuser all the years. My wife knew it. She happened to her in '80. His first movie,
Right.
and he was doing it. Everyone knew. Gwyneth Paltrow knew, and Angelina Jolie knew, and Rose McGowan knew, and they all knew, and Ben Affleck knew. They all knew, and they were saying, well, look, that's how producers do it. They've been doing it since time immemorial, for 100 years now. And as soon as they blew the whistle on him, it came out, oh, yeah, also Dustin Hoffman and Kevin Spacey, etc. So the things are changing, but no, people are not different. They're assholes.
No, there's the dark side, and then there's the dark side that has to be told, you know what? That's not allowable.
Well, it'd be good that
you can
this
think
changes things a little bit.
you can think that, but you can't act on it. All right, there are consequences to acting on it. So that's the deterrent.
I just think you should censor. I think you should censor S&M, Richard, because censoring religion, yeah, that's good. Censoring astrology, great. I can get rid of those 2 fucking stupid things. They're nonsense. They're fantasy. But S&M is actual violence, and I don't think that should be encouraged. Just even if people are consensual, let's not encourage this torturing other people, the sadism and the masochism. I don't think that should be. I think I would draw the line at that and censor that in my house. I would just have entertainment programs or intellectual discussions like this one.
Well, the people in the kink community,
The kink community. Oh, do they like the kinks, by the way?
I don't know.
I mean, do you ever hear Lola or something, or you really got me? They ever come? You really got me. That would make sense. You got me, so I don't know what I'm doing. That could be a real good S&M theme song, girl.
I want to hear
got
this.
me.
Go on.
Oh, I'm sorry, I spoke on my own show, Lori.
Oh, jeez.
But then again, you're driving me home, right?
We'll see.
If
Could be a
I
fight in the car.
let Richard
Could be a-
talk, will you drive me home?
Could be a fight in the car.
Okay, I'll let Richard talk because you're driving me home. Go ahead.
Here's a couple of my observations.
Uh-oh.
Tell the viewers, stand by.
Stand by, viewers.
It'll correct itself.
It does
There we
correct
go.
itself
There we
usually. Okay, so I try again for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so here's a couple of my observations. Number one is when it comes to their general disposition and they're so at ease.
Are they sweethearts?
No, they're at ease.
Oh, they're at ease. Are they at peace too, or just at ease?
Suppose you could say they're at peace.
They're at ease with their S&M stuff, right?
Well, like they're, you can tell if somebody's in the kink community because, like, they're not wound up.
No, because they got all their sick, twisted stuff out.
Yeah.
Are they? I mean,
and like not very much fear either. They don't have a lot of fear. Like people who are, say, Mormons, for example, right? They're wound up. They like have a certain tension and a certain amount of fear.
Well, a lot of times because they haven't masturbated or had sex.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going out to proselytize about Jesus, and I've never masturbated because you're not allowed to. I mean, at least they say that. Like, no sex, but I want you to join with us for Jesus. I mean, that's fucked. That's gonna wind you up.
So I've noticed that, but I've noticed two other things. All right, which I didn't expect.
Yeah. Number one.
When I join in conversations,
Yeah.
for example, in this one conversation I brought up, they said, the world is, it's a very chaotic place. Somebody said something like that. And I said, well, yeah. I said, I mean, I'm outraged by what Israel is doing at Gaza right now. That's when Israel went in to Gaza because there was a person was killed. And they sent the whole army in, and like 1,000 Palestinians lost their lives. So I brought that up. Nobody at the table knew what I was talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only follow SNL.
It would be like me mentioning the Harvey Weinstein thing now, and nobody knowing what it was about.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
Similar?
they were like.
But Harvey Weinstein's pop culture, though. The thing you're talking about doesn't sound like pop culture.
Well, it was on the news every day.
I know, but it's pop culture that makes the news, and then there's the stuff that's not pop culture that makes the news. I ignore the stuff that's not pop culture on the news.
Okay.
I only go for the Harvey Weinstein kind of stuff.
So
Poppy stuff.
Let's see. You don't know that right now that, say, Trump is in Asia.
I know Trump's in Asia because I'm writing a book about him. That's the only reason I know about it. I wouldn't know about him being in Asia if I wasn't writing a book about him. And it's coming to a close now. So
What about the Myanmar people?
Right.
You don't know about that?
the Myanmar people know. Is that
Okay.
like something
It
In
would be-
Burma,
that would be
in
comparable.
Myanmar,
Something
and
like- something
the
like-
Muslims that are being
No, I don't
The
know.
Rohingya?
They're burning their villages.
No, I have no
Get
idea
out of
about
our
that. I always
country.
ignore all that real news.
Yeah.
what are they? The
Rohingya.
Rohingya?
Rohingya.
I don't know how you pronounce
Trump's the
it.
pop culture president.
So anyway, nobody knew anything about that, and I thought, wow, like they're
But at least they're at ease.
they're like isolating themselves from the suffering in the world. All right.
But it doesn't matter because they're inflicting suffering upon other people sometimes. That pretty much got that
not
thing going.
suffering, sensation.
Oh yeah, that's because they like it.
Yeah.
So you got people
But
that
then the second thing too.
number two,
and
Richard.
I thought this was very telling. All right. They were sitting around the table and they were talking about their own, you could say, like their levels of happiness. And this one person said this, and I thought this is so telling. She said, I spend so much of my life in the kink community, and there's rules in the kink community. So that, for example, when you meet somebody at a play session, then you can do whatever you want. But if you go to a shopping mall and you see that same person, you pretend you don't know them.
That's fucked.
Because
Well, they know what the world's one big
anonymity
family.
is a key thing.
That goes against the world being one big family idea that we all espouse.
You're right.
Right? Am I right, Joel? Doesn't that go against that the S&Mers see each other at Walmart and ignore each other?
Not at all.
They're
I mean,
not- I mean,
how
don't
do you
you
even
know-
draw that conclusion?
Because it's one big
That's such
family.
a poor conclusion.
Well, what's one big family like? We all are in the world. They're all connected. Should they
Do
be-
all families behave the same, Greg?
Well, I'll tell you they don't, but I'll tell you every single time I've seen a family member with another family member at Walmart, they always greet them, or they go, oh, fuck. They actually they go like this. They don't just ignore them. They go like, oh shit, there's my mother. That's what happens with families.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. I
I'm
just told you you were
wrong.
wrong.
I'm wrong again after I explained it. Fuck.
No, all I'm saying is that
There's a joke about that too.
Oh, Richard's telling jokes now.
No, I mean, do you want to hear the joke about what you just said?
It depends. Let's ask everybody. You guys want to hear the joke?
I want to hear
I
the joke.
definitely-
Laura, you want to hear the joke?
Yeah. Sure.
Do you think that Richard can tell the joke well, so we'll laugh? Is there a possibility of that, or is he more of a serious kind of guy? Lori, is he a serious artiste type?
No, it's just gonna
He's
get
no
to
Red
the point
Skelton,
where
is he?
Richard is gonna say, and
He's
what
no
do you
Red Skeleton type. Is
what do
he?
you think he said? Can you guess what he said? What do you think he said? 'Cause that's the way you tell
Two
jokes.
sadists walk into a Walmart and they see each other and they totally ignore each other. Whew. Okay.
I'm heartbroken.
Okay, you want to hear the joke?
I want to hear the
Let's
joke.
hear the
I want to
joke.
hear the
Let's hear the joke.
joke.
I guess they want to. They're out voting.
on.
Okay.
I was going to vote no, Rich. I was going to say no
Oh,
joke.
come on.
But they want to hear the joke. Okay.
I want to hear it.
Protestants do not recognize the Pope as the leader of Christianity.
Here do I.
Okay?
Yeah.
Jews do not recognize Jesus as the Messiah.
Right. Here do I.
And Christians do not recognize other Christians in either the liquor store or the porno store.
Ah!
I don't get it. Why don't you explain that joke to me? Go ahead. Sanford.
Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy. Okay, I don't get it. Joel, can you explain it better than that? Hypocrisy. That didn't really do anything for me. I don't know what
I
I
don't
was talking
understand what
about.
you don't get.
Well, let's hear it again. Okay, Richard, maybe let's hear it
Somebody
one more
else has
time.
to tell it now.
Oh, someone else tell it. Can anyone remember that joke? It was really funny.
Was it born again Christians or just
No,
Christians?
just Christians.
Just Christians.
They don't eat pig in a liquor store, he said, something like that.
Christians pretend they don't do all these things, and yet when they're actually engaging in them, which they do on a regular basis, they pretend, well, I can't acknowledge the presence of that other
Oh, I don't agree with that at
member of
all.
the
I've
group.
seen so many goddamn fucking Catholics in this town. They're drunk. They're in a liquor store. They're like, hey, buddy, I saw you at church the other day. The Bills kicked ass, didn't they? Fucking A! There's no ignoring of each other for being in a liquor store. First of all, liquor is legal. Second of all, Jesus drank wine. There's no problem with alcohol.
porno is
Jesus,
legal.
Jesus
porn-
wasn't depicted as a
porn's
drunk.
legal.
No, but you
Right.
don't have to be a drunk to go to a liquor store, Sanford. You can go to.
Right.
I've often gone to liquor stores. Am I a drunk? No. I've bought liquor in liquor stores. I've gone to liquor stores all my whole life. Am I a drunk? No. You don't have to be a drunk to go to a liquor store. A lot of people are. I would say the vast majority of people in a liquor store are not drunk.
I'm not
shopping.
a drunk. I go to liquor store all the time.
I didn't say you were a drunk.
Drinking right now.
I think there's a metaphor in the joke. I don't think it has
Oh,
to
a
be taken literally.
metaphor joke. Well,
There's
no,
a
but you
symbol
start saying this drunk
behind it.
thing. I mean, really, I think that people do. Christians say porn's good. They say they say because it is good, and then they say alcohol's good. It's good together, alcohol and porn. You know, more bang for your buck, right, Lori? You must watch pornography while you're drinking, right?
I drink while I watch porn.
That's what I just said. I'm sorry.
No, you said I watch porn while I drink. There's a difference.
So you drink while you watch porn.
What is the primary?
The primary thing is drinking.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Joel? Is it drinking primary for you or porn? When you're doing both,
What's primary?
when you're doing
Watching the
both,
Greg Sterlace show. That's what's primary. Watching the
that's
show.
kind of pornography. That's kind of pornography.
He
That's
doesn't even own a
pornography.
pornograph.
Do you have a pornograph at home? We have an old-fashioned
A phonograph?
pornograph. No, a
What?
pornograph.
Yeah.
What is a pornograph?
You know, it's one of those.
What
you
is
know,
family?
What is family, Joel? What is family? Sanford, what's
you tell
family?
me.
What is family?
According to Webster or according to
According to Hoyle.
according to Joel or Webster?
Do you consider pets to be part of your family?
Absolutely.
Yes,
I
if
do.
you have
I do.
one, yeah.
I do.
I think so.
I think my cat
Yeah.
is not only part of my family. He's the only. I only have two people in my family, Paula and George. And George is a cat. That's all I have. I have two family members, Paula and George, and then I have all you acquaintances.
But now,
Have you
aren't you altering
ever
the
had a
definition of family by doing that, Greg? Because
No.
no, I'm saying it's the family you choose
Fish in the
family. That
backyard,
one.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like the
Oh, yeah,
family
yeah,
you
yeah.
choose. My
Over
cat.
the family that you're
family
born
that
with,
you're born
yeah.
in. But I don't believe in the thing of beyond the family you choose. Your friends. Your
I
acquaintances.
understand.
Yeah, like just a stranger over in Europe. I don't think he's part of my family
I
or my
understand.
brother. Yeah. Yes. Lori.
So
What-
let me
what-
finish about the whole kink community thing.
Yeah. Oh.
What's
So
the joke?
so
though?
in
You
other
gonna tell a
words,
joke?
Joke is done.
Oh, that was great. It was funny.
So there's the rule then, like you meet all these people in this subculture, but then you see them
You ignore them.
and you have to ignore them.
You have to. What if you don't?
Causing this one woman to say, it's really, really hard. I just wish
Yeah.
that I had a friend that I could say, let's go out to coffee together and
She's
just
not
talk
at ease
about
after
our
all,
lives.
is she? She's not at ease, that one S&M-er, is she?
She doesn't have that in her life.
Yeah.
She has all this other intimacy, but she doesn't have the intimacy of knowing someone
Yeah.
so that you can go with them in public and share your life experiences.
Maybe she's just the normal friends. We're not
Wow.
freaks. 10 seconds, Richard. Closing argument.
I have nothing else to say.
Joel, closing argument?
Thanks so much for tonight, Greg. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was good. Goodbye forever.